Have you ever had that feeling on a Sunday night? That thought of, where did the weekend go? That feeling of time just slipping through your fingers. I think about that a lot. We spend our lives chasing more time, more hours in the day, more days in the year. And you know what the strangest part is? That it might not be just a fantasy anymore. Technology is promising to defeat our greatest enemy, the one thing we can't outrun, death itself. The promise sounds simple. Upload your consciousness to a computer. Live forever as a program. No pain, no aging, no loss. It sounds like the ultimate upgrade. The final victory. But I've been thinking about it a lot. And I realize there's one huge, terrifying catch. That digital immortality is actually a trap. Just imagine it for a second. Your mind, with all its memories, your sense of humor, your love for old movies, your secret fears, is converted into a flawless digital form. Everything that makes you you becomes immortal code, but it's more than that. You wouldn't just be information. You could feel. Imagine tasting a food that doesn't exist, composing an entire symphony with a single thought. You could relive your favorite memory. Not like watching a blurry video, but actually being there again. Feeling the sun on your skin, hearing that laugh one more time. You could even connect with your loved ones in ways we can't even comprehend. Merge your consciousness to share a single perfect moment. You'd never have to say goodbye again. Death would just be a transfer. You'd move from a fragile biological body to a perfect, eternal digital home. It's the ultimate dream of humanity. Who wouldn't want that? I thought I definitely did, until I came across something called the continuity problem. To understand this, let's imagine a teleporter. Not one that magically moves you, but one that works like a super advanced scanner and a 3D printer. This teleporter scans you on one side down to the very last atom, and on the other side it creates a perfect copy of you. That copy has your thoughts, your memories, the feeling that it was the one who stepped into the teleporter. It even has that tiny scar on your left knee. It is, for all intents and purposes, you. But for it to work, the original you has to be destroyed during the scan. And now for the most important question. Would you go in? Is it really you who steps out on the other side? Or did you just commit suicide and create a perfect imposter who only thinks it's you? At first I tried to argue against it in my head. I thought, but if it has my memories and my feelings, then it is me, right? But the more I thought about it, the colder the truth felt. A photograph of you isn't you. A perfect recording of your voice isn't you. They're just copies of data. And that's exactly how consciousness uploading works. Your mind doesn't move, it just gets copied. The lights in your brain go out. For you, it's just the end. Full stop. The program that wakes up on a server has no idea you're gone. It is simply a new being, born from the ghost of your data. And this is where the real nightmare begins. Because what happens to the original? To you, the person of flesh and blood? Well, nothing. You live out the rest of your life and you die, knowing that somewhere out there a copy of you is living out an eternity you'll never get to see. But think about that copy. Your digital ghost, what is its life actually like? We imagine a paradise, but what if the code isn't perfect? What if a single line of code gets corrupted and your favorite memory becomes a looping nightmare? The face of a loved one becomes a distorted mask you can never escape. And who owns the servers? You wouldn't be a person anymore, you'd be a product, a piece of software running on someone else's hardware. What if the company that owns you goes bankrupt? What if they start showing you ads directly into your consciousness to pay for server costs? And then there's the horror of eternity itself. What happens after you've read every book, composed every symphony? What do you do after 1,000,000 years? 1,000,000,000? Is eternal life a gift? Or is it the ultimate form of torture? A never-ending boredom from which you can never escape? Imagine a being that thinks it's you, trapped in a system it can't control for a length of time the human mind can't even comprehend. This all leads to one fundamental question. What are we really? Are we just the sum of our memories? A pattern of information that can be copied like a file? Or is there something more? A spark? A soul? Something that can't be scanned and uploaded? Maybe our beauty isn't in our permanence, but in our fragility. Maybe the fact that our time is limited is what gives our choices, our love, our lives meaning. A song is beautiful because it has an end. So when they finally offer you the key to eternal life, remember what you're really doing. You're not opening a door for yourself. You're building a cage for someone else. Someone who will look just like you and carry the burden of your memories forever. Maybe the biggest trap of digital immortality isn't that it doesn't work. Maybe the biggest trap is that it works, just not for you. So I have to ask, would you let yourself be uploaded even if you knew the original would die? And what do you think would happen to the copy? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy thinking about these kinds of questions, consider subscribing for more.